at the law office of Michael Humphries today, and I'm with a former client of mine, Alan, and I've asked him to come and just tell y'all just a little bit about what our office does. Alan had purchased a vehicle, and why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience with that vehicle?
Yeah, thank you, Michael. Appreciate you having me. Yes, it was an unfortunate circumstance that we purchased a new vehicle from a dealership, and it was for my wife and my family, my two young kids, to have as a nice, safe vehicle to have. And not too long after owning it, we were starting to have some issues with the transmission. And my wife would report back when she was making a turn, accelerating onto a freeway. It was just a little bit strange. It would hesitate, doing some strange things. So I didn't experience this in the beginning, but I drove it a few times myself, noticed the experience. We took it into the dealership. The dealership said they couldn't find anything. So we would take the car back home, and she would be driving it. It would happen again. Yeah. Take it back to the dealership, said nothing's wrong with it. She would be driving it again, happen again. And so we started to get a little concerned, and I was explaining the situation to a friend of mine, and he said, hey, I know this guy that could potentially help you out with this situation, which I reached out to your company here in Seal Beach and gave you a call.
It's pretty common for a dealership not to be able to duplicate a problem like that when your vehicle is slipping. Perhaps just you've experienced a problem that's intermittent. So once you contacted our office, let's talk about the process. I know that we had a phone consultation initially. I asked for some documents. I believe it was the purchase agreement and your repair invoices. You were able to provide those to me, and then we had another phone consultation after that. I was able to explain to you that yes, you did qualify. You'd given the dealership a reasonable opportunity to repair the vehicle. Problem still existed, and so we filed a lawsuit. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about that experience? Once we filed the lawsuit, we were able to make appearances for you in court and handle all those legal challenges. But was there anything required of you as far as just answering basic questions or follow up with our office?
Yeah, I would say the experience was pretty seamless for me. I'm very busy during the day at work, and you submitted information for me to provide. I provided that, and you guys kind of took it from there.
Once we were able to review your purchase agreement and your repair invoices, we took you on as a client. We had an attorney-client agreement prepared and sent that off to you. It was pretty simple, straightforward. No attorney fees that were going to have to be paid on your behalf. You understood that if we win your case, that those attorney fees would be paid by the manufacturer. There were some times where we had to ask you some questions, a little bit background information. But other than that, ultimately, why don't you tell everybody if the case was resolved, if you had to go to trial, and if you would refer our offices.
It was a very positive outcome for us. We got what we were looking for from the dealership to take care of us in this situation, and couldn't have been more happy.
And no attorney fees paid out of your pocket?
No attorney fees paid out of our pocket.
Now, as far as the settlement, do you still have your defective vehicle today?
No, we do not.
All right. We were able to return that to the manufacturer?
Yes, we were.
All right. And you're driving a newer, more reliable, safer vehicle?
Yes.
And that's our goal, is that if you're in a defective vehicle, if you have a transmission that's slipping, if your check engine light is on, sometimes you're going back and forth to the dealership and you're wasting all kinds of time. We want to put an end to that. So call our office. We'll file a lawsuit. We'll get your case resolved, just like we did here for Alan. Thanks, Alan, for coming today.
You're welcome.